just wanted to throw in, there was something we had talked about in preparation for the interview, which was fascinating in how you were able to break it down in terms of types of people. And it could be something that you exercise within your relationships with family, with friends, in the workplace. There is the rescuer, the victim, the persecutor. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure.
Roles that we play in life.
Right. Well, so that, I want to give credit where credit is due. That comes from a book called The Power of Ted, who was written by David Emerald. And I've been through a lot of his training classes, actually met him originally at an ICF meeting and conference. But he wrote the book, How to Take Us from the Drama Triangle to the Empowerment Triangle. And we use this a lot in our coaching of people, because the dreaded drama triangle comes in 3 points: the victim, the rescuer, and the persecutor. And when we look at this from the standpoint of an individual, whether it's us or in the workplace or with our families, we will have a tendency to find ourselves on a regular basis in one of those 3 places. And the thing about being in the drama triangle is that if I am a rescuer, then my natural tendency is that I've got to find a victim so that I can feel fulfilled. Because in order for me to be fulfilled, I have to be rescuing. So that means I am, whether it's unintentional or intentional, it's usually unintentional, I'm magnetically drawing victims to me so that I can rescue them. And likewise, where it really gets twisted, that means I also need a persecutor. Because without a persecutor, I don't have a victim. So that means I'm also attracting persecutors, because I need the persecution to have the victim. And sometimes when we're trying to rescue the victim, they can get frustrated with us because we're not doing enough, fast enough, or whatever it is that's meeting their needs, and they can actually become the persecutor themselves, and we drop down and become the victim. So that's where we can find ourselves moving around the drama triangle. And this is where David Emerald created, well, there's got to be a way out of this, and he created the empowerment triangle. So we just have to first take a look at, what's my orientation? Where do I usually land in the drama triangle? Then we can look at the empowerment triangle. So if I land as a rescuer, then I want to begin to shift my mindset to be a coach. How do I, instead of rescuing and saving, how do I ask powerful questions to help them figure out how to rescue and save themselves? But I've got to be sure to not do it. And then that leads us to the victim orientation. If I find myself a victim, because a victim always needs to be saved, I need to ask myself, how can I create something different for myself? How can I create something new to be out of this situation or out from under this? But it is about creation. And so it's also about the rescuer seeing the victim as a creator instead of one that needs to be saved, seeing them as somebody that's whole and complete and can find their way out. I may be there supporting them and encouraging them, but I don't do it for them. And then the persecutor, which is over here on the drama triangle, in the empowerment triangle, the persecutor becomes the challenger. And that's the person where, okay, Michelle, you said you were going to do this, which is I'm creating something. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to register on Friday so I can get my education so that I can get a better paying job. And here it is Monday, and you didn't do it. What happened? So you're still asking questions, but they're a little more powerful. They're a little more challenging versus persecuting. Well, I didn't ever think you were ever going to do it anyway. You never followed through with what you say. So that would be a persecutor.
Yeah,
and then that puts that person right back in the victim mentality versus the challenger who asks tough questions but keeps them creating. So that's kind of a long answer. It's hard to explain.
Fascinating when you think about it, right? Because you can think of people in your own life, whether it is, at work or friends, family, what have you.
Yeah.
Where they play those roles, and can we interchange those roles? Can we be the rescuer and then sometimes the victim and sometimes the persecutor?
Absolutely.
We can be
all of them. And I think for the most part we have a home base where we camp, and that's probably 70% of who we are, give or take a few. But oh my goodness, yes. Sometimes even the rescuer. So let's say, for example, you're trying to rescue me from, I just keep getting behind on my car payment, and so you keep, jumping in there and giving me a little bit here and there, and then finally you say, Michelle, next month if you don't have it, I'm not going to pay it. And next month I come to you, I'm $50 short. And you say, Michelle, I told you I wasn't going to pay it. What did you just become to me?
Coach?
Well, no, you said I'm not going to pay it.
Yeah.
You didn't say, how are you going to pay it?
So
what did you just
a persecutor.
Yes, in their mind. No, in your mind, you're right. In your mind, you're holding me accountable. That's a good thing. But in their mind, you just became the persecutor.
Right.
Yes. So the better thing would have been, if you find yourself in the rescuer role, when I come to you, Michelle, I'm gonna do it this time, but I want you to know I'm drawing the line. Next month, I'm not paying it. So you draw the line, and then you say, how do you plan? So there is where you go to coach. How do you plan to have the money next month? I don't know. No. Before I give you this $50, I want to know, what is your plan for next month? Now, when I tell you my plan, if I come back next month and ask you for $50 again, now you can challenge me. Well, Michelle, what happened? You said that you weren't going to go out to dinner on Friday nights this month to save that money to have that extra $50. Well, but my friends all wanted to go and da-da-da-da-da. Well, I'm sorry, I told you I wasn't going to give you the money. So now
it's
they may
responsibility.
Yes,
yeah,
on both parts.
Essential
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah.